Was 2022 a good year for superhero movies? No. But that doesn't mean they were all bad, because one of them was absolutely amazing. One of them I've watched 5 times since it was released, and only love it more each time I watch it. Of the big 6 superhero films that were released this year, it is, in my opinion, the best film. And it's not even close. So we'll start there in this video and make our way down to the worst. So, with that being said, what's the best superhero film of 2022?
It's kind of obvious.
The Batman.
Of course, The Batman is number one. What did you think I was gonna say? Morbius? I would never do that. Who do you think I am? Some kind of sarcastic shitposter? Absolutely not. The Batman is obviously the best superhero film of 2022, and it's not even up for debate in my eyes. Now, to lay out some background, when this movie first got shown off back in 2020, I was very against it. I didn't think we needed another Batman movie, since we already had a recently made Batman trilogy that was amazing. And I'd rather see DC give another hero the focus instead, such as, for example, Wonder Woman. However, when the Batman released, it was discovered that I was a brain dead fucking moron. Because holy fuck, while Wonder Woman 1984 was a fucking dumpster fire, this movie was incredible.
And I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
First of all, I feel like this movie finally got Gotham City right. Don't get me wrong, the Dark Knight trilogy did a good job bringing Gotham to life on the big screen, but it still generally just looked like any real life big name generic city to me. However, in the Batman, not only does Gotham City lack a clear resemblance to any real world city in my opinion, but it feels like a character in itself, with how detailed and tragically beautiful it all is, as a world that you really can't see is on the brink of complete collapse and despair. It's a city that I'd love to explore in a video game, which is something I haven't felt this strongly about in a movie since probably Tron Legacy. But as great as the city is, I feel like the villain is an even greater standout due to how good he is. Because before this film, the Riddler to me was just a goofy, annoying bitch who put an infinite amount of trophies all around the city to the point that I want to break my PS4. And then eventually I just give up and let Catwoman die because she wasn't worth the struggle. But in the Batman, he got a massive upgrade, going from just an over-the-top character centered around riddles to a full-on evil force with an actual well-thought-out backstory and intentions. And as for Batman himself, all I'll say is I never doubted Robert Pattinson in the role. After all, he's used to playing characters that have a connection to bats, thanks to Twilight. So seeing him prove himself as a worthy opponent to my favorite live-action Batman is something I'm very happy to see. But will he pass Christian Bale to become my eventual favorite? We'll have to see what the sequels say about that.
We will watch your career with great interest.
Now, when I said that this film was perfect down to the last minute details, I was actually lying, and I apologize for that, because this film actually does have one clear flaw: the Batman and Catwoman romance.
We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close.
Look, I get it. Hollywood has got to speedrun the whole romance side of things between its two hot main characters, as they always do, for the purpose of Hollywood tradition. But for fuck's sake, this speedrun was way too fast and out of control, and it felt like romantic whiplash over how quickly everything moved between these two. You can't even say it was love at first sight, because Selena never even saw who was under the mask. If she did, then alright, I can buy into the idea that two hot people see each other and want to fuck immediately on sight. But that doesn't happen here. all Catwoman sees is some psycho in a bat costume and decides that she's gotta fuck him immediately. And the only way we can really make sense of it, I feel, is through two options. A, it's bad writing, or B, Selena is a whore who fucks anything that moves. Whatever the answer is, though, between these two, it's not a welcome one, and still leaves this incredible movie with a thorn in its side. Other than that, though, it's an amazing film. Easily the best superhero movie of 2022, in my opinion. From the action scenes, to Colin Farrell as the Penguin, to the amazing score that I still listen to on a weekly basis, this film simply does not know how to fuck up, outside of its lame-ass romance side plot. Now give me Mr. Freeze in the sequel, or give me death. And give me a battle reminiscent of the Arkham City fight as well, because that's still one of my all-time favorite video game boss fights.
You don't want to do this, Freeze.
Oh, I believe I do. You will bring me Nora, or you will die.
Ah, chills. Literal chills.
Now, when deciding who gets second place, most people view Black Panther Wakanda Forever as the obvious choice. Hell, some people believe it's better than the Batman. Furthermore, I gave first place to a DC movie, which means that if I don't give it to a Marvel movie for second place, it may not seem fair to Marvel, and would most likely anger Marvel fans. And on top of all that, February is their month, so it would be good to knife them with second place for that reason alone. Therefore, mathematically, when you add these points together, the answer for which movie gets second place is obviously Black Panther 2. Or is it? Because you see, the truth is, when it comes to all these points,
I don't care.
I recognize the council has made a decision, but given that it's a stupid-ass decision, I've elected to ignore it.
it's time to start calling me a racist. Because even though it's February, I'm still not giving Wakanda Forever second place. Because while it may be the better film, I personally just enjoyed Black Adam more, which is why it gets second place on my ranker.
What? How can you do this? This is outrageous. It's unfair.
This isn't about you. This is about me.
Now, when it comes to explaining why Black Adam gets second place, we need to get something straight immediately. Black Adam is a really dumb movie. It's so fucking stupid. To be honest, it's not even a good movie. It's actually really shit. Dwayne Johnson is just playing himself while cosplaying as Black Adam. The villain in the movie is awful. Hawkman is a fucking idiot who believes heroes don't kill people, even though pretty much every hero in this universe does. And Adam Smasher could be removed from this movie completely, and nothing would change. But he's kind of funny at times, so I'll give him a pass. But Cyclone, though, holy fuck. She's gotta be the most useless superhero I've ever seen. In her introduction, Hawkman states that these are her powers. Now I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really see any of that in the movie. Pretty much none of it. What I did see, though, was her big moment, where she charged up her power to 100%, spinning and slow-moing the entire way there for reasons I can never understand, because my IQ isn't as high as hers. And then, finally, she unleashed her ability in full force on Black Adam. And do you know what that did to him?
Fucking nothing.
This bitch really just pulled a Starlight on us. And this idiot really chose to put her on this elite team. Hawkman, you dumbass. The Justice Society is a superhero team, not a Make-A-Wish Foundation. But as awful as she and these other characters were, there was one bright light. One savior that single-handedly pushed this film from the bottom of the ranker to second place.
Lately, some of you have been a little out of sorts, erratic, unreliable, downright sloppy. Not you, Noir. You've been great. They told me I was gonna get my very own team. And then I got you.
Pierce Brosnan is gonna need a chiropractor for how much he carried this film. He absolutely nailed the role of Dr. Fate and gave me a reason to care about what was going on in the movie because I cared about what happened to him. He made this movie go from dumb to dumb fun.
It's so dumb.
It's so dumb, it's brilliant.
I have no idea what critics were thinking when they gave Wonder Woman 1984 a better Rotten Tomatoes score than Black Adam. I mean, for fuck's sake, the score for Black Adam alone is better than the entirety of Wonder Woman 1984. Have you heard the Justice Society and Black Adam theme? They're so good. DC really nailed their music in 2022. Hell, I'll even go further and say DC as a whole did a great job in 2022. The Batman was fantastic. Dr. Fate made Black Adam a fun watch, and Peacemaker was so good that I've already watched it 3 times and will probably watch it again soon enough. And as for their video game department, I'm not going to talk about it because there isn't exactly anything good to say. So let's just move on to Marvel. Now I'm going to be honest. Black Panther Wakanda Forever was supposed to get 3rd place. But listen, it's currently 3 a.m. and at this time of night, my mind gets a little twisted, to put it mildly. And because of that, I had a genius thought pop into my head 20 minutes ago of, wouldn't it be funny if I gave Morbius 3rd place and argued why it deserved it? And that was enough to make me do it. So, with that being said, how does one argue in favor of Michael Morbius? Well, it's quite simple actually. Racing. What does that have to do with Morbius, you might ask? Well, with racing events, people tune in because they want to see who wins the race. They want to see how certain racers perform. And I get that. But goddamn, do I find it boring as shit. And this is the same problem that I feel all the MCU movies suffered from in 2022. You generally know what to expect before you even watch it. And that makes it boring, overall unsurprising, repetitive, and feel like a robot wrote, directed, and edited it all together with how samey it all feels. It wasn't always like that, but it really was in 2022. I mean, where's the chaos? Where's the surprise? Where's the destruction and action? But then, in came Morbius. Morbius is the whiplash to shock the system and cause mayhem to the race, shifting it from boring and predictable to exciting and unexpected. It's the race where the cars crash and explode, where chaos is everywhere that you look, where you want to rewind the tape and watch it over and over again to see how it all went wrong and watch the wild aftermath. Morbius is the race where it's so crazy and how awful it is that you can't look away. Don't get me wrong, it is an objectively better experience for everyone to watch a race where everything goes to plan and no one potentially gets hurt. Just like it's better for a studio to make a decent superhero movie for the general audience rather than an awful one with Jared Leto. But I'm not talking about what's better for everyone with these rankings. I'm talking about what's better for me. And I'll take a Morbius level car wreck over a Black Panther 2 boring but safe race any day.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
And let's be honest, this scene alone is better than many superhero films in their entirety, such as, for example, Wonder Woman 1984.
Life is good, but it can be better.
So yeah, I don't know if I convinced any of you, but there's my 4 a.m. argument for Morbius.
Why are you telling me this?
Because I want you to understand.
And now, finally, we've reached the MCU films of 2022.
That is one big pile of shit.
And easily the least shit one is Wakanda Forever, which is why it gets 4th place. Now, I'm going to get right to the point here with this review and say it. Black Panther Wakanda Forever is an accidental comedy. A movie, show, or video game that was meant to be taken seriously, but is so bad with its writing and story that you can't help but laugh at it. Because if you don't laugh, you'll probably cry at how much better it could have been. Everyone in this movie is acting their ass off, but not even they can hide the fact that this film is really fucking goofy without meaning to be. Namor has the same weakness as SpongeBob. The Ironheart suit looks like one of those shitty toys I'd find in a Kinder Surprise egg. Everyone talks about how beautiful Talokan looks, even though it looks like a McDonald's toilet. And the Wakandans retreating to the mountains makes Namor look like a dumbass because he can't attack them anymore, only for the Wakandans to one-up him by being even dumber by attacking him in the only place where they'd have a disadvantage. And that's just the tip of the stupidity iceberg in this movie. There's so much more to make fun of. So much, in fact, that I'm going to make a video or two dedicated to it in the near future. So, until then, what I'll say about Wakanda Forever is this. In my opinion, it's unfortunately significantly worse than its predecessor, but also way funnier by accident thanks to its extremely bland and dumb story. And as someone who's watched and played many accidental comedies over the years, I'd say that while Wakanda Forever is nowhere near the best one, I do think it's better than recent accidental comedies such as Eternals and Wonder Woman 1984. So take from that what you will.
It's so dumb.
It's so dumb, it's brilliant.
No! It's just dumb.
You were the chosen one!
Perhaps I treated you too harshly.
Buddy, you think you look strong? You're just a cheap fucking knockoff.
Oh, no. I'm the upgrade.
I trusted you.
I know. That's the most disappointing part.
You.
I know. You're a fucking disappointment.
No! This is not how this was supposed to go!
Listen, I've been meaning to thank you for allowing me to be tortured last night.
You're welcome.
You didn't care about the fact that I was in, agonizing pain.
Okay.
So, thank you. I've never had a friend quite like you.
You know what? I think it's time for your first beer. What do you say?
Sorry, we've been fighting lately.
So he's an idiot.
Yeah.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
The year 2022 saw the beginning of the destruction of an entire race of people in the MCU, and no one even realized it. First, it was in Doctor Strange 2, and then it happened again in Ms. Marvel. I'm talking about the annihilation of the Inhumans. We saw the leader of the Inhumans slaughtered by a mutant, while another was turned into a mutant herself. And don't get me wrong, I love the mutants. I love the X-Men. I love those characters even more than the Inhumans, to be honest. But what's happening to the Moon People is outrageous and cannot be accepted any longer. I mean, who's next, Marvel? Medusa? Black Bolt again? No. The mutant colonization of the Moon People stops here. So either you stop the Moon People massacre, or I stop financially supporting your projects. And I know that's a big deal because the couple hundred I spend on you every year goes a long way. I'm sure of it. So, with that being said, the next move is yours.
This will be your only warning.
Look, I'm begging you. If you do this, I will lose everything.
You should have thought of that earlier.
So yeah, that's an easy last place on my ranker for that reason alone. Overall, bad year for Marvel. But hopefully, things will be better this year. However, after just seeing Quantumania, my hopes aren't exactly high.
There's only one path to peace. The Avengers' extinction.